So what happened between the recordings is the person didn't need that much, like in the small time between recordings, they didn't need many items. So they just already started their construction. So that mood was good. Huzzah. Pin on the floor. Oh God, it's polar. It's gonna kill me. Is that what it was? The Monster Hunter movie? I was actually agreeing with him. Oh, you're a bad person. Best debut game. Oh, when I go full screen on it, I lose where I was. Best debut game was Phasmophobia, Brokey, Raji and Ancient Epic, Mortal Shell, and Carrion. Phasmophobia won. Because it's the best debut game, and if you disagree, you're lying. Oh, there was another person one. Content Creator of the Year. I don't really know any of these people, but I guess they must be popular. Alana Pierce, J.N. Lopez, Nick Merckx, Tim the Tatman, and Valkyrae. Valkyrae won. Best multiplayer. Oop, and I went small screen, so I lost it, of course. Best multiplayer was between Animal Crossing, Among Us, Call of Duty. I have to click a button. Fall Guys and Valorant. Among Us won. Best multiplayer game of the year. Best sports racing game was Dirt 6, F1 2020, FIFA 21, NBA 2K21, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, which I think is weird. You're just remaking an old game. Wouldn't it have won the awards back then? If it wins again, isn't that weird?
At last,
that's what I'm saying. Stardew Valley isn't in any of these because it was released in the previous year. Lead task Kelocam, the Weavers Guild, has created Sulu Casbin, a sleek llama wool shirt. He claims as a family heirloom. That's right, llama, not alpaca. Oh, dissed. Sulu Scasbin, Crater Tufts. Crater Tufts, the sleek llama wool shirt. Worth 10,140 dwarf bucks. Holy fuck. This is a sleek llama wool shirt. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is encircled with bands of llama wool and cushioned chalk cabacons. It is made from llama wool cloth. The thread is red with red root dye. The object menaces with spikes of llama wool and chalk. I have no grief against my llama cousins. Well, that's good. This category, I feel like it was screwy. So I'm going to call it the wrong category first, admittedly. Best strategy game. Crusader Kings 3. Desperados 3. Gears Tactics. Microsoft Flight Simulator. XCOM Chimera Squad. The winner was Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, I know you might say, but that's not a strategy game. That's because I lied to you. For some reason, they randomly went best strategy, oh, and also sim game, and then gave it to the only sim. And they said Microsoft Flight Sim over Crusader Kings. That buggy piece of shit that crashes all the time. They beat Crusader Kings. Yeah, okay. Best family game. Microsoft Rules with a Z. What the fuck? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For some reason, it's no longer, or it's not best strategy game, or it's best strategy or sim. In the description, strategy. The best game focused on real time or turn-based strategy gameplay. So sims count as real-time strategy gameplay. So, you know, Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's completely the same type of game as all the rest of them. Doesn't make any sense. Best family game: Animal Crossing New Horizons, Crash Bandicoot 4, Old Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, Mario Kart Live, and Minecraft Dungeons. That one went to the one that we know. What the fuck? There we go. And it went to Animal Crossings. My screen over here is spazzing out. Everyone and their uncle's been talking about Animal Crossings all year thanks to Corona. I mean, I never played it myself, so I can't say good or bad about the quality of it. But I mean, okay. I am not surprised. I am not surprised. Everyone and their uncle has been talking about that game all year. So yeah, okay, cool. It won. Makes sense, I guess. Yeah, make it 2 categories. Exactly. What game? Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing won Best Family Game of the Year. Which, like I said, I could have actually predicted that one. I never played it myself, so I don't know how good it is. But I have only heard all year off and on of people like, I did Animal Crossing this week, or I did Animal Crossing last week, or I'm doing Animal Crossing now, or I'm going to do Animal Crossing. It's kind of like the Nintendo console. Like, it's never everyone's first game, but it's like everyone's second. So, all right, made sense to me that it won. Cool, I guess. I can agree with that. Best fighting game: Grand Blue Fantasy, Mortal Kombat 11, Street Fighter 5, One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows, and Under Night in Birth EXE Late CL-R. So they gave it to Mortal Kombat 11, and okay, I guess that one's on you guys. I don't do fighting games like that, so I don't know. It went to Mortal Kombat 11, best fighting game out of whatever the fuck I just said. Animal Crossing, us arguing about which 2 bears to hybridize for 2 hours in chat. Best role-playing game. The way we streamers know about how good games are how many tweets we read about them in a year. Yeah, I mean, kind of. I'm not even talking about tweets. I'm just talking about like random people's conversations. But yeah, essentially. Best role-playing game: Final Fantasy VII Remake, Genshin Impact, Persona 5 Royale, whatever it is, Wasteland 3, and Yakuza Like a Dragon. Went to Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's the only one I even know. So, okay. If Final Fantasy VII was going to be winning, then Final Fantasy VII Remake was going to be winning. Genshin Impact, Waifu Gachi, yeah. Breath of the Waifu was in the running. They just asked Twitter, and Twitter provides engagement data. Well, yes and no. There have been statements. Best action adventure game: Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel Spider-Man, Ori the Will of the Wisp, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, or The Last of Us Part 2. Waiting for the stream delay. Waiting for the stream delay. Of course, it was The Last of Us Part 2. Best action adventure game: Assassin's Creed, Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel's Spider-Man, Ori and the Wisp, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, the game that saved the Star Wars video games, Last of Us Part 2. And they gave it to The Last of Us Part 2. The game who everyone hated. So there are 2 or 3 things about this. One, oh, hold on, I got the wrong things on top of the wrong things. One, it did awful. Its numbers were not good. I think the hold on. The Last of Us Part 2 gamer rating? What is it called? Fan rating? I think it was rated like 4 out of 100 by gamers. So it's because the aggregate engagement data. You get the feeling the awards aren't real. So there are two things that lead to this. One, it is not because of the aggregate engagement data. That's not it at all. They actually have juror people that vote on it. Two things that keep coming up in massive information blobs. One, everyone who votes for these things are journalists, video game journalists. And The Last of Us Part 2, despite every gamer hating it, if nothing else, had a journalist mode. So it was possible to complete the game, or a quote-unquote journalist mode. So it's possible to beat the game and complete it without actually playing the game. They essentially had a super accessibility mode that turned off all the actual gameplay. So you just kind of did it like a movie and you get through the game. So of all the games, the only game that everyone was guaranteed as a journalist to be able to finish was The Last of Us Part 2, because you didn't have to play it. That one was called out before these things happened. Everyone was kind of annoyed that it was even up as a possibility for an award. Everyone's angry, so they're like, well, okay, that's because they placated to the journalists, not actual gameplay. One. Two, a lot of the journalists, or a lot of these journalists or other type companies, all apparently have a lot of employees that are like Naughty Dog and other employees of the company that did The Last of Us Part 2. So all the judges are from the company that made the game. Ta-da! Nothing to see here, folks. Right, so they judge as a story, not as a game loop, essentially. Starting to sound like zero punctuation over there, RNG. Doesn't matter that people hate something, they actively say it, so it's free advertisement. The game loop is literally how you evaluate a game. Story is important, but not for the sake of gameplay. Yeah, so one of these two things is what everyone is angrily going with. That they won that particular category. Either, well, of course, they didn't have to play it. And second, well, that's because all the judges are not even bought off, but were bought off years ago for being employees. I have not looked into the list. I don't know whether or not it's true that anyone was employees, but I do know that they did essentially have the super journalist mode. That one was just known from the beginning. That one's like an old information bit for it. So yeah, there's that. Was it an action adventure game over Star Wars? So I was talking with Shadow Fox. You remember him from Hearts of Iron and the like. And he came up with an idea that I actually think was pretty decent. The first category before anything else, doesn't matter who's voting for it, what's going on, you should not be allowed to qualify for an award if your game was a massive flop. Like, your game has to have been a successful sale. Like, you have to have made decent money on it. You can't just be something that everyone's like, this game was garbage, horrible ratings, and nobody bought it. Or if they did, they returned it. He was like, if it doesn't pass that first test, it probably shouldn't be allowed to go on to any other future tests. And I mean, kind of agree with him. I think he actually came up with that one for the movie Feeling the Fish Dick. No, that's right. It was called the Shape of Water. Whatever. The movie where the chick gets screwed by a fish. It won an award a couple years ago, even though it like completely bankrupted. Like, it did awful. It did not do good. But yeah, no, I think it generally kind of holds true. Like, it's kind of weird that a lot of these movies that just weren't good win these awards, like, at all. Yeah, some games can be peer reviewed negatively, but that's the idea, though, is that it's about the forgetting the word right now, but the market. The video game awards, the movie awards. You're making the movies for the people to consume it. Like, if you can't do a good movie, then you can't do a good movie. You can't just have a bunch of friends that owe you a favor vote it in and say it was good, when all the people who, like, the easiest metric for how good a movie is whether or not people will keep watching it after the first weekend. Like, if your first weekend's numbers are only 1,000, that's bad. But if your movie is so good that the next weekend it's 2,000, then it's 4,000, it's 8,000, must be a good movie. Whereas conversely, if your first weekend's movie is like 2,000 and the next weekend it's like 2, then that probably means it's a bad movie. What if we made our own show or just disagreeing about the official Game Awards? We send bricks to the duds who won the awards anyways. I bet we could crowdfund such a thing. Dang, I don't know about them. Like, so yeah, they won Best Action Adventure. Best Action Game, which is separate from Action Adventure. Doom Eternal, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, Neo 2, and Streets of Rage 4. Hades won. Hades is the winner of Best Action. ZP is 0 punctuation. I didn't even know he was still on the air. Is he Australian? New Zealand? He kind of speaks with a British accent, but I think he's from Australia. He does the quick review. He does the quick reviews of video games. British, living in Australia. I knew it was something like that. Probably gonna need more grates. I feel like I fucked this up somewhere. All right, another category: innovation and accessibility. Recognizing software and hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. So basically, who made the greatest leap forward in accessibility? Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Grounded, Hyperdot, Watch Dogs Legion, or The Last of Us Part 2? So journalist mode won as being the most accessible leap forward in video games because you can just turn the game off. You can turn off the game portion of it, meaning that anyone regardless of disability can play the game. So it is the most accessible game. Yep. Yeah, none of them really had groundbreaking. Even Grounded, which as a kind of half joke, I would see why, but I'd be laughing about it, does have an accessibility slider where people with arachnophobia can play the game because they change, you can reduce how much it looks like a spider, but the way it reduces it is fucking terrifying. So even when you turn off spiders, it's still fucking terrifying. That's why they were in the category. I never thought they were going to win because of that, but I would have chuckled if they did. That would have been like that's pretty cool. But yeah, no, journalist mode won. Best VR or AR game: Dreams, Half-Life Alyx, Marvel's Iron Man VR, Star Wars Squadrons, The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners. Half-Life Alyx, that's right. The only like legit big budget AAA game in that series made specifically for VR. So it won. Surprise! Yeah, I don't know. I don't do Assassin's Creed Valhalla, so I don't know what they had for accessibility options, but they were on the list. Like I said, it didn't matter. Didn't matter what they did. Idiots should have known to just put in journalist mode. Best accessibility option is just to turn off the game. Idiots. Swear to God, they ruined Half-Life. Have a good night, Aminifiz. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully I haven't terrified you from coming back for another round. See you next time, Aminifiz. Like none, it's just Assassin's Creed. They must have done something about technology. I don't know, maybe it recognizes you're playing badly and changes shit. I don't know what it does. But they were in there. Like, I feel like some of these, they should have like definitions. Why is this in here? Like, not only just for like The Last of Us, but Assassin's Creed. Like, why is it? I don't know. If the idea is to draw attention that they did something, then you should tell us what they did. Great. Wood. I need like 30 more grates. I have not played Alex and Snow VR yet, but I'd also say probably Axe given the biggest push new hardware server just because VR, but no. Last of Us 2 for journalist mode. Yeah. Best community support. Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Fall Guys, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, and Valorant. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout got best community support. Best mobile game. Among Us, Call of Duty Mobile, Breath of the Waifu, Legends of Runeterra, Pokemon Cafe Mix, which I didn't even know was a game. Brought to you by LG Wing with powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon, whatever the fuck that crap is. I hereby declare myself a journalist. I'm good enough. I have 4 hooves I can read. We're including mobile games now? Yep, that's the category, mobile games. And it went to Among Us. I didn't even know Among Us had a mobile version. Best indie game, Carrion, Fall Guys, Hades, Spelunky 2, and Spiritfarer. Went to Hades. We're getting close to the top. Best ongoing game. This one kind of confuses me, but okay. Best ongoing game. Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, or No Man's Sky. Hold on. Make sure I'm doing the Dwarf Fortressing. Don't want anyone to think I don't do a Dwarf Fortress. We do all the Dwarf Fortress. So much dwarf, so little fortress. Best ongoing name, you mean best money milker. Also, I say Payday 2 wasn't an option. No Man's Sky got it. Yep, No Man's Sky won the award. Games for Impact for thought-provoking game with pro-social meaning or message. If found, Kentucky Route Zero, Spiritfarer, Tell Me Why, Through the Darkest of Times. It was Tell Me Why, and I've never heard of any of those games. Yeah, I do think I remember that one. He looked confused as fuck. He was like, oh, thanks. Yeah, no, he definitely looked really fucking surprised, like, what? Now, this next category got flack. Not even, well, I mean, I'm kind of half spoiling it. So I'm going to read the game, let's say. Best performance. Miles Morales in Spider-Man. Hades as Hades. It's showing the actual voice actors' names. Jin Sakai in Ghost of Tsushima. Abby from Last of Us Part 2, or Ellie from Last of Us Part 2. True, I don't mind it less intensive, Elite Dangerous. See, some of Spiritfarer is pretty cute because they were promised to release by 1,000. Are you talking about for Elite Dangerous? Are you talking about No Man's Sky? Do you expect DLC type content patches in 3 years for free from EA? Oh no, and they're like they want it. They want it. Oh yeah, okay. No Man's Sky. I need the thing in my back. So if you were paying attention, the big issue with the last category I read is that they got 2 entries. What's it called? Last of Us Part 2 got 2 entries in the category. I didn't misread a name. It was Abby from Last of Us Part 2 and Ellie from The Last of Us Part 2. So they have 5 entries, 2 of which were for the same game and therefore the same company. They didn't pick which one was the best representation of the game. they let them double dip in the category. So, you know, they won. Abby, Last of Us Part 2 won Best Performance. And from what I understand, I never played the game, but I mean, that might very well be. It was Laura Bailey, and she does a ton of good work. But why did the game do 2 entries? So that got a bunch of flack. All right, Judy is throwing a temper tantrum again, but we were making people better. Judy. Friggin' Judy. Best audio design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Doom Eternal, Half-Life Alyx, Ghost of Tsushima, Resident Evil 3, and The Last of Us Part 2. I also want to see, before I reveal these, what you guys think. Phasmophobia should win that. Phasmophobia, for some reason, wasn't even in the category. I don't know why. But I'm going to do what the VGAs did. I'm going to have you guys say who you think won. And I'm going to be like, well, that was nice that you told me that. But I'm going to tell you who really won. Because why the fuck do we have a viewer's choice? That's still fucking scummy. There's now war in Ba Sing Se. The atmosphere is incredible. So, yeah, The Last of Us Part 2 won again. Best audio design. Better than all the other games I said. Last of Us Part 2, way better audio. You guys don't even know about that audio design. Dragonman, let me guess. The Last of Us Part 2. My eyes cannot roll any harder. I think the best game is Last of Us. That's it. It's the only game in the world. Best score and music. Doom Eternal. Final Fantasy VII. Do I need to finish the list? There was a category that said best score and music, and it's Final Fantasy. Have they ever not won that category if they were in it? It's Nobuo Uematsu. A genuine question. Have they ever not won that category? Like, quite frankly, they should be disqualified, and like, genuinely, they should be disqualified from the category, and it's just be, they won the best runner-up in score and music. They always win. Well, I say that. I think 13 lost, the one where they didn't use Nobuo. Doom should have won. The soundtrack pumps me up. It might pump you up, but it's not outstanding music. Best art direction: Final Fantasy VII, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, and The Last of Us Part 2. The answer may surprise you. So Double Bluff, it actually will surprise you. It was Ghost of Tsushima. They won Best Art Direction. Somehow The Last of Us lost that one. Double Bluff. It was Ghost of Tsushima. You gotta let me have my chuckles. Yeah, no, Ghost of Tsushima won that one. But I'm willing to bet that if they told us what the votes were, they probably barely won. Best narrative for outstanding storytelling: 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and The Last of Us Part 2. Were they gentle with their artists? No, they had to kill their artists. So of what I just said, what has the best story? The answer may surprise you. The Last of Us 2, Last of Us Part 2 won Best Story over 13 Sentinels, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and fucking Final Fantasy VII. Around that point, I think the majority of gamers were calling Haxors. Whether or not you agree that Final Fantasy VII is an overrated game, do you really think The Last of Us Part 2 story is over Final Fantasy VII? The literal game that launched a genre for a generation. But yeah, no, Last of Us 2 won. I gotta go with The Last of Us Part 2, I guess. All right, that was story. This one is Best Game Direction, awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation. Final Fantasy VII, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, or The Last of Us Part 2. Puzzle game. Always a puzzle game for that one because creative directors. Best game direction, of course, went to The Last of Us Part 2 for outstanding creative vision. Again, above Hades, Half-Life, Ghost of Tsushima, and Final Fantasy VII. Best game direction. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Final Fantasy VII should have won or Hades. Because, I don't know, you could argue like 4 of them. Hades, Ghost, Final Fantasy, Half-Life Alyx. You could argue for any of them. Nobody would argue for The Last of Us Part 2 for that. It's like one of those things where it's like, can you copy out my test? Yeah, just don't make it obvious. They fucking photocopy it. Like, fucking... You're not supposed to cheat that hard. That's what I'm saying. That, like, so you could argue any others but The Last of Us. And last category, Game of the Year: Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Animal Crossing, or The Last of Us Part 2. Is it even a question? So, yep, they even gave Game of the Year to The Last of Us Part 2. The shadiest, most panned game. Oh my God. So yeah, either all these journalists voted heavily for it because of journalist mode, in which case they shouldn't be game journalists or graders or anything because they clearly don't want to play games. Or they were all just basically bought off because it was their old company. You can just look on Filter. You can just look on Twitter and filter for The Last of Us Part 2 bullshit, and it'll just be filled with nothing talking about the... It's all about the video game awards. That's all you gotta type. The Last of Us Part 2 bullshit. It's just... How did it win? This is bullshit. The meme was real. The game is The Last of Us Part 2. Well, us plebes don't know what we like. Oh my God, it was fucking awful. But like I said, and I mentioned this way earlier, but just to bring it up again, remember, before every single one of these categories, they would go, all right then. Best art direction. What do the fans vote for? Final Fantasy VII. Well, let's see if they guessed right. The answer is The Last of Us Part 2. Game of the Year. What do the fans vote for? Final Fantasy VII. Well, let's see if they guessed right. Looks like it was Last of Us Part 2 again. You stupid scrubs. They kept doing what did the fans vote for? And then they would just say Last of Us Part 2 again. And they always said, let's see if they got it right. They always said, let's see if they got it right. Why would you say that sentence? There's gotta be some other way to say that. Oh my God, it was truly awful. They did. Artist stuttering. They did, in fact, not get it right. Not once, not ever. It was just trash. It was just high quality trash. It was like, why are we wasting our time then? Thank you. I swear to God, if it was not for them having like world premiere, if it wasn't for world premieres of new games and shit, nobody would have been watching. They would have been turned off the first time they even announced The Last of Us 2 was in contention. But then to top it all off, remember at the end of it, they go to raid the one dude with the Twitch streamers, but they already had everyone on YouTube. What is the fucking point? The whole thing was a shit show. It was amazing. They need to make a competition of this Game Awards show. Yeah, we basically probably do. Seems you have more, but yeah, I know, but they're stupid. FogBasement, the Silvery Fellowship. Who the fuck are you? Temple and a priest. The Silvery Fellowship. All right, I'll say yes. If only because chat pointed you out. You better thank them for their fucking gracious glory. Because you would be getting nothing if it was up to me. Hold on, what is this? This is a 3x9. Oh shit. Uru's Rune, raiding with a party of 12. Everyone defend yourself.
What? Defend thyself. This is not the voice I wanted. We've dug too deep.
Thank you so much.
You've already dug into Arbok's beard. You dug too deep and too greedily. Now we will know why you fear the night.
I'm sorry, I was trying to go with the fucking the narrator voice and it ended up just being the evil one. Thank you for the raid. We just, besides our other rants for the evening, we just got finished going over the shit show that was the Video Game Awards. How are you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. Living counterpart to Oprah. Yes, thank you, Crystal Bepsi and Retro Game Collective.
Thank you so much.
Wear asses. No, that should have worked. Someone else do it. I don't know, it should work. There you go. Hold on. And now, introduce. I'm sorry. I still have the giggles. I still have the giggles from the video game awards. I'm so sorry. And now introducing this new product from Uru's Rune.
World premiere. Dwarf Fortress content. And the winner is Uru's Rune.
I'm sorry. Serious enough, anyone watched the video game awards? They were garbage. I'm still stuck on the. Oh my god. I'm not. This has been a long conversation in the making, but for anyone who is not aware, 2 nights ago was the video game awards. There's lots of fucking categories. Most of them were bullshit. However, the worst part was every time they would introduce a category, they would go, let's see what the fans voted for. All right, they voted for game A. Well, let's see if they were right, because we've determined game B is the winner. They would, every single time, they would go, who do you want to win? Well, fuck you, this game won. I've never seen someone be so patronizing to their viewers before. It was the most amazing thing. It was awful.
World premiere.
See, should have modded me. Let's find out if they were right. I didn't know you did. I thought you said you didn't want to. Nightbot is picky. World. So how are you guys doing? What were you doing in your base? Or were you actually being serious about wear asses? Oh my god, it was. And then to cap it off, for the people who just rated, to cap off the absurdity of what did everyone vote for? Fuck you guys. They set up a thing where it was like, oh, who did you guys vote is the best streamer of the year, basically? And then they rated them. They had like everyone's watching on Twitch. They then rated that person's stream, assuming I guess they were on at that time. But the best part is when you went to their website, they directed you to watch their show on YouTube. So if you went to their site, they made you go to YouTube, and then they got the Twitch viewers to rate the person. Like, what? This is the video game awards, and like so many of your categories is about Twitch streamers and content creators. You would think you understand the difference between YouTube and fucking Twitch. I want to be paid that much money to be that incompetent. Oh my god, I don't know who set that up, but they are getting paid buku bucks to be quite incompetent at their job. Yes. Our world has wear asses, but we were turtled, waiting for a troop of aggro humans to freeze to death in the ocean. Literally said I'm pretty serious about my offer to mod and then backed up my statement that I know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe because you know what you're doing, you ignored it. One of the hallways in the temple is one tile too short. What? Oh, you mean this? Because that should have been all the way out, right? Yeah. All right, I got it. Is the open tavern open yet? There's no money in journalism, just free games. But then, man, who wants free games? Crystal Pepsi and Retro Game Collective. If you are unaware, you can type in the Dwarf command, and it will name one of the dwarves after you, as well as set in place a massive chain of events so that we can keep track of what you're doing at all times. Basically, by typing in Dwarf, you are agreeing to our in-user license agreement that says we waive all your rights to privacy, and I will in fact sell it to any foreign country that you do not choose. No, it'll dwarf you, and it keeps track that whether or not you are alive. So in future streams, you can type the same command in again, and it'll verify whether or not you're alive. Someone has taken me up on my offer. The one part of it that is not automated is the actual naming part, because I do not know how to get it to inject code into Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf 16 for a Crystal Bepsy. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 15, 16. Crystal Bepsy, you are one of our legendary farmers. Welcome to our new underscore. Welcome to our new legendary farmer.
World premiere, Crystal Bepsy.
All right, and Crystal Bepsy. You have an extended family, at least some of which are on the map. You have a legendary hauler who isn't on the map anymore, so your mother might be dead. I'm not sure about that. You're related to a hauler, but you are related to some named dwarves, including VII, a cousin, Ghostward, and Davanoid. No one else related to you is a named dwarf, though you do pray to 6 deities, and you have a passing acquaintance with the brewmaster. That's basically the guy who makes the alcohol. Crystal Bepsy recently thought, I finished up some work that was satisfying, because he felt satisfied at work. Duh. Crystal Bepsy is slow to tire, but he is flimsy, susceptible to disease, and quite clumsy. Crystal Bepsy likes spherolite, nickel, gold opal, ashwood, giant aardvark parchment, sweet pods for the round shape, the words of the Umber Sparks, and the sight of the luxury of music. I feel like I started that without enough air. When possible, he prefers to consume brook lamprey, two-humped camel cheese, and cassava beer, though he absolutely detests moon snails. He has great creativity and a good kinesthetic sense, but he has bad intuition and poor memory. He dreams of falling in love someday. The most farming farmer to ever farm. Some actually 6-foot-tall alpaca. Using Dwarf as Illuminati confirm. Sell me off, let's go. Channel points can be used for stuff like a suite for your dwarf and custom statues. Okay, here's some informing them. Most farming says they're a farmer. Let's see if they're right. The winner of the best farmer is...
And the winner of the best farmer is The Last of Us Part 2.
That's a good acquaintance. Too close to home. All right. For those of you who are unaware, we are still doing, or we are finishing up. Finishing up sounds like we're closer to completion than we actually are. We are making progress towards completion of our Mott and Bailey dual castle system. Unfortunately, the progress we're going to be making today towards the Mott has been sidelined due to the fact that I have an attention span of a goldfish. We've been making progress on getting the ramps up, which, you know, make it work and look like the hill it's supposed to be representing, as well as the fact of we've had other projects in the base that have been distracting me, such as getting the automated dwarf car wash system to work. It works okay. And something down below that I can't remember right now. I just been a drainage for the car wash, truth be told. All right, we'll let those get completed. Well, at least you got a dwarf that resembles you. Want to be an alpaca for years, but there are no commands for that, only paying. You know that there's a command for that, right, alpaca? Hold on. Do I have an alpaca? That's the question. I do not have an alpaca. Would you mind being a llama? If you want alpaca, I can make you a llama. The temple for the petition. Ah, yes, thank you. Temple. Does anyone remember what it was called? Wasn't it like the Silvery Fellowship? Excuse me. What? I forget who wanted the petition. I want to say it was the Silvery Fellowship. About to find out. Yep, it was them. Agreed to build temple. We will engrave this. Increase its worth. Will the reports know the temple? No. They had to introduce a script to DF Hack to track down who you agreed to do what for. But literally, you have to just remember right now who you agreed to do a petition for. It'll be in the reports when you failed. It'll be like, you failed to follow through on your promise. Like, oh, okay, thanks. Couldn't have told me that sooner, I suppose. No, there is no way to check petitions. You can only access the petitions menu when you have a petition being submitted to you, and it only shows you the ones being submitted, not any active ones at the time. But for Alapega, to be clear about this, if you so wished, I don't have an alpaca now, I'm just letting you know how this would work in the future. Go to a llama, we'll say. Nope. Trying to zoom to him. All I'd have to do is, was it Control Shift in? There you go. And you can enter a new nickname for like any creature in the game. So you said a llama would be Bernard. And now that's Bernard, the stray baby llama. So DF Hack lets you rename anyone and anything. Can I name a trader? I just thought of that. Can I name someone who's trying to trade with me? I'm gonna call you Dumb Human. That is immediately now one of my favorite scripts. I don't think I see him in this screen though, Dumb Human. Oh, there's tons of merchants. Holy crap. Yeah, there he is, Dumb Human. Yes. He is now remembered throughout all of history as Dumb Human. Yes. Yes, that's amazing. Why can they not leave? Oh my, do you have bunnies? No? I don't think I have guinea hens, guinea cocks. Hold on. Why is this not working? Oh, because I'm in the wrong one. Here we go. I have no KVs, to be clear about that. And I have no rabbits. The rabbits have been killed off. But please, sir, I have 6 whole minutes. Don't you take mercy? Don't you take mercy on my very weary soul? I don't know where you keep getting your times from. I've got it over here. I've got a little timer over here. I don't know how you keep getting off on this time. Now they perform a legendary feat, that'd be in Legends. Which reminds me, what do I have to do coming up? How much is left on this? Oh fuck, you added more. Added more. 1, 2, 3 groups. 2.5 groups. Probably get them all done. All right, bear with. That's right. I was going to introduce more people as military, wasn't I? Great squad appointed by this. Metal armor. The flags of chewing. Not what I wanted to do. Q. Mine. Q. Mine. Q. Tree. Who else naturally does things? Miners and wood choppers, the only two weapons I'm aware of. Whatever, we have them in there. The flags of chewing. What did I do? The flags of chewing. ZITQ. Then go into the military for a squad. What is the ranged ones called? The geared heat. 4 axis of requiring. Copy that. Except for I'm going to go to yours and edit yours down to like 1. You only have like 1 person. The military alert. Put you on training. Zah. I know what the ideal job of strategist is. I was gonna try and have a bunny get named Punky after my original character. How about a bunny man that has cavies, don't forget hunts, called Playboy? What happened to that idea? Well, first we need a hairman. Ooh, hairman. All right, I'm basically within the time window now. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to trigger the save. Now, in order. For those of you who are watching on the YouTube archive when I upload this, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you guys next time.